same background. That's okay. Just exist respectfully, and we can't be beat. We've been through wars, we've been through pain, recession and change, passion and conviction, mighty strange, but unstoppable, unstoppable. Yeah. I got you and you got me. You got me. Incredible, never let it go. Immeasurable to me. Unstoppable, unstoppable. I got you and you got me. I got you and you got me. Incredible, never let it go. Immeasurable to me. We won't let our past rewind us. Won't let ignorance define us. Our future looks brighter. My grip's getting tighter in your hand. Together we stand. We've been through wars, we've been through pain, recession and change, passion and conviction, might strange, but we unstoppable, unstoppable. I got you and you got me. Got you and you got me. Incredible, never let it go. Immeasurable, immeasurable. Unstoppable, unstoppable. I got you. I got you. You got me. Incredible, never let it go. Never let it go.
Yeah, we've changed our mentality to include everyone as our family. The wars I'm fighting were just handed me, so to get a new picture, let's change the canvassing. Get rid of the aerial perspective, up close and personal, keep opinions objective. Clear stereotypes so we can be receptive. The better the bond, the more effective. What kind of masterpiece can we create? What kind of future of hope can we generate? The wall of management, dick, let love penetrate. Put God first, everybody venerate. Yeah, remember I'm there when you come to school. Doing right, trying to live by the golden rule. My brother, let me say I love you, so I'm comfortable. Alone, yeah, we
What we
together, we're
have
unstoppable.
is unstoppable. I got you and you got me. You got me. Incredible, incredible. Yes, we do. Hey, unstoppable, unstoppable. I got you and you got me. You got me. It's incredible. Immeasurable. It's immeasurable. It's unstoppable. Hey, hey. I got you and you got me. It's incredible. Immeasurable to me. It's unstoppable. I got you and you got me. It's incredible. Never let it go. Immeasurable. It's unstoppable, unstoppable. I got you and you got me. It's incredible, never let it go. Immeasurable to me. If you need me to drive cross country from end to end, and you told me don't sweat my station, you're my friend. We don't believe in the same things or have the same background. That's okay. Just exist respectfully, and we can't be beat. We've been through wars, we've been through pain, recession and change, passion and conviction, mighty strange, but unstoppable, unstoppable. Yeah. I got you and you got me. You got me. Incredible, never let it go. Never let it go. To me, it's unstoppable.
If you're in the building and you win and stand up, wherever you are, if you win and hands up. Hey man, sometimes it takes the bad days to appreciate the good ones. But no matter what, but you just keep winning. Just keep winning. Just keep winning. 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 To every winner, every champion, every overcomer, this song is for you. That feel real good. This song. Everywhere I go, I take my, I take my. Never said that the weapons wouldn't form, you know? They might form, but they won't prosper. Yeah, just keep winning. Just keep winning. Just keep winning. Winning, 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 winning.
Let the whole church say amen. Living life day by day, man. Say, man, Jesus' name we pray, man. They know where we come from, yeah. Who finna run from, yeah. Who finna run from Satan? Not me, don't you neither. I ain't know the pain reliever. Still with the finders keepers. And we gon' blow your speakers. Hey, never gon' get amnesia. We ain't gon' turn no breather. Gotta say thank you, Jesus, cause I know I got that.
All right, we're back again. This is another series of episodes of A Candid Conversation. And this time, the subject matter is the Black community. I've invited some young people from Southeast Missouri State University, from the Department of Equity Access and Behavioral Department. Thank you. My brother Trent, where is he? Is he in here? No, he's in the back. Okay. Well, we're getting ready to get started. But first, I want to give a shout out to Simo Navs. I am a board of director of this organization right here in Cape Girardeau. Everyone needs to know about NAVSV. We call it NAVSV. This organization is Network Against Sexual Violence. And so if there's any kids or even teens or even young people that you know of that may be at risk of sexual abuse or physical abuse, this is the organization that you need to work with. They work with the health department, they work with the hospitals, they work with the law enforcement, they work with family services, and so they would love any donations that anybody have. They're in real need of support, and it is an excellent organization helping a lot of young people. You'd be shocked at how many kids in this area and the counties beyond this area that we work with that are going through such abuse, and so I just wanted to put a props out there. But tonight, we want to talk about the Black community. We got a series of episodes that we want to share with you guys. This is the first one. We got another one on the 15th. And like I said, the theme is the Black community. In honor of February, Black History Month, we want to do some of these. And we've been working with SEMO Equity Department, and they have been gracious enough to help sponsor this event. So without further ado, Where's my people? I want to introduce the students. The students of Southeast Missouri State University has been so pleased and agreed to come and share the thoughts of today's culture. We get old and we don't know. Maybe I lost sight of what's going on out there. My thumb ain't on the pulse of the community anymore. I used to be out there, but hey, let's find out what's going on. This first topic is sexuality and relationships. Interesting topic. But let's find out what we're going with. But I want to introduce, and the picture is wrong up there. And to my far right is my man Xavier. He's no stranger. He's been here a couple of times before. To his left, we have Nia Duke. Please give her a hand. And to my left, Shantae Hannah. Give her a hand, please. And my man, Jay Harris. Thanks for joining us. Absolutely. And so I didn't give a specific question. We want to ask some questions. And I don't know if Brother Trent knew this, but I did add a question if we have time at the end, a trick, not a trick. Did I say trick? It's not a trick question. A bonus, let's just say a bonus question that I don't want the panel to know anything that I'm going to ask them. I'm just going to go off the top and see what happens. But I didn't give a specific question. I didn't give it to a specific person. I'm just opening it up. And I just want to have a candid conversation. Don't you guys want to know what they think? Yes, we want to know what the young people coming from the black community thinks. So let's go. Does anybody want to say anything? I want to open it up. Say, maybe they want to get to know you. What are you guys studying? What are you majoring in, Jay?
I'm majoring in middle school education, so I will be an English teacher for middle school kids when I graduate.
Excellent. Let them see your face one time. Let them see your face one time. Okay, there you go. All right. All right.
Hello.
Shantae.
My name is Shantae. You already said that. I am majoring in international business and Spanish.
Excellent, excellent, excellent. Can you guys share if you're a junior, senior, sophomore, freshman?
I'm a sophomore.
Sophomore.
Sophomore. And Miss Nia.
Hello, I'm a sophomore at Southeast, and I am majoring in social studies education with a minor in history.
Awesome.
Hi, I'm Xavier. I actually already graduated this past winter. I got a degree in exercise science.
Excellent. Thank you guys for joining us. All right, let's get it started. First question, well, that ain't it. First question is, and I put topics, sexual portrayals and stereotypes. And this is open, the floor is open. We're just gonna talk in front of y'all, be a fly on the wall. Many times in the history of America, black men have been depicted as predators and rapists. We now understand this stereotype was often used to justify lynchings, murders, and even political gain. The question is, do we take part in validating this stereotype, or does it continue to be the propaganda of those who wish to show us in a negative light? The floor is open, students. Be free.
Both. Both. I think we definitely take part in validating this, as in, like, we take part in portraying black men as aggressors or as people who are abusers and things like that, as in something that in the black community we do take a part in. But I also still think it is propaganda. A lot of times, people will depict us as, aggressive people. People will predict us in the media as being aggressive, even in unarmed, police cases and things like that. People will be like, oh, well, he was a drug dealer, or oh, he was like, all these different types of stereotypes, or even he was a robber, he stole something. It's always something that we have to be doing wrong.
Yeah, I agree. I think that it starts at a really young age, and like how we force on little black boys, oh, you can't cry, be a man, stuff like that. It's just pushing the narrative that they can't have feelings and they just need to hold everything together, and just, that's not true. Yeah.
Okay, so that's our role in this. Did you want to say something before I jump in?
I did want to say something, actually. Thank you very much. I think I kind of took the question a different way. It's do we take part in validating the stereotype, or does it continue to be propaganda to show us in a negative light? I think that's a kind of danged if you do, danged if you don't kind of question. I don't think that I believe that like the media kind of shows us in a negative light oftentimes. You know, they try to affiliate our past mistakes with our identity, and that is where the kind of showing us in a negative light kind of thing like is demonstrated through the media, just as an example. But I do think that the awareness of it is how we can stop it. I don't think we should take part in validating the stereotype. I don't think that we want to be seen that way. I don't think that's necessarily true. You know, on the other hand, you could see someone that doesn't look like me, and the media often portrays them in a very different light. They don't mention what you did when you were 13. They mention, you know, oh, he was on the honor roll student. He was the captain of the track team, you know what I mean? So, yeah.
Wow, excellent. Xavier, you had anything?
No, they answered it.
That's good. Okay, so let's look at that again. Many times in the history of American black men, most of the things that you guys said was about taking roles, or is it either in the media or in Hollywood? Are we doing anything in our community that makes people in surrounding communities think that we are murderers and rapists and predators? And do we have any of that? Have you experienced any of that in your community? Is there people that you would qualify as validating someone's, you know, can you take Uncle so-and-so to the party without him getting physical? Do we have those encounters too? Or people, do we need to just get better at?
I do think that it's obvious that those things are present. You know, there are violent people. There are some predators out there, obviously. I mean, I'd be naive to say there wasn't. But the problem is when you stereotype it over the whole community. That's where it's not okay.
Excellent. Go ahead.
Okay, so not to say this like to call you out. I feel like there's a flaw in that question though, because no matter how anyone on the outside looks at another group in, they're going to see something different because they are not part of that group. So it doesn't matter what happens. It doesn't matter who is looking out or who's looking in. They're just going to see a group of people acting a certain way. They may not know the backstory of why Uncle Randall has these aggressions or why Timmy is stealing from the store. They don't understand it because they're not part of that neighborhood. So no matter who it is looking out, they're always going to have a different opinion on it.
Gotcha. Excellent. Okay, so I can understand that as well. That's good. And we talk about in the history of America, this has been depicted that way for taking communities for political gain. A lot of politics have put certain criminals out front so that they could win elections because they're scaring their constituents. And so that's really the reason why I think a lot of this happens, because we don't really have this stereotype. I don't think we have this stereotype in any other community. Am I wrong, or am I seeing something different?
Repeat the question again, I'm sorry.
Do we see any type of negative stereotypes coming from any other group of people in America? Can we think of any? Immigrants, okay. That's coming from the crowd, but.
I was going to say we don't, but we should. Because a lot of the things that sometimes there are separate races different than being just black, that we do see a lot of predators and rapists and things like that. But again, we are deemed as the, predators and the rapists, and we have these stereotypes coming from our community, and not necessarily from our community, but towards our community, even though the media, or even though not necessarily science, but experience and past things have shown that it's not really us. It's kind of, there are other races that are out there that's.
So do you guys consider the people that take roles in Hollywood to be thugs and drug dealers, do you consider them sellouts? Or are they trying to put food on the table? If they're an actor and they go for a role, the only role that they are able to get, or the role calls for a drug dealer, a rapist, a murderer, a killer, or whatever.
I wouldn't consider them sellouts because, like you said, like people are just trying to put food on their table. So that's not really their fault. That's Hollywood's fault. So, yeah, it doesn't really fall on them. I wish we could see more like Black stories of like our achievements and not just like us being in the hood and our moms being crackheads, stuff like that, because we do so much more that people don't know about. But, you know, Black achievements just don't get funded or don't get recognized.
Or maybe
Well
don't get
said.
ratings.
I agree with her. I just think she said that nicely.
Perfect. All right. Any finals?
I was just going to, on the last point that you were just making about is it shown with other groups, my thought process is this has been a stereotype that's gone on for decades, and people have believed it. Why would you try to change it up and switch and talk about someone else? That means you have to build up that rapport. You actually have to get evidence to show that that group is bad or is just as bad as this one that we've been talking about for years upon years.
I think, like he's saying, I think that if you're not a white man in America, like besides being Black, there's going to be a negative stereotype associated with you.
Wow, okay. So if you're a white male, you're probably the only one that don't have a stereotype of some kind? Is that what you think?
They have stereotypes, but
They have stereotypes.
They can't jump or dance.
They don't know about it.
Everyone has a stereotype.
Okay. All right. Any other final thoughts? But I agree that there are some other negative stereotypes for, like, there was some people have negative stereotype for Muslims or Mexicans or other groups as well. But I think some of the worst and some of the tenure belongs in the Black community in America more so than any other, I believe. So you guys ready to go to question 2? Sex in music videos. A survey showed that younger adults who had a greater exposure to rap hip-hop videos are believed to be more sexually active. The main thing that is believed is that in any media where women are sexualized, is saying that women are sex objects. Do you believe the way women are portrayed in some of these videos impact Black relationships or expectations in relationships?
Yes.
Woman talk first. Let a female talk first.
I do believe, like, absolutely. I mean, you are a product of your environment, let's say that. And so what you expose yourself to is obviously has some kind of influence on the things you do and what you expect and what you want. And I mean, when it comes to music videos and how women are portrayed in them, I definitely think, like, women are objectified. They are objectified in a lot of these videos. And that's kind of, a lot of the times I feel like that's their intention, you know? Like you see a lot of people rapping about women and this and this and this, and that's kind of like a flex. So I do think that like maybe someone that is constantly exposed to that would expect that of a woman or see them in this light, like you were an object. And of course, that's obviously not good, but I do think that that affects what they want in a partnership or what they expect in a partnership or relationship.
Wow.
I think it's also like very obvious that women are just seen as sexual objects because we have these male rappers with video girls and that looks good, but then when female rappers come up and they rap about that stuff, everybody is like, oh, she shouldn't be rapping about that. She not setting a good example for our daughters, our kids, and this and that. So they want us to be sex objects, but they don't want us to own it. It's weird.
Wow.
That's a very good point.
Okay.
That's a very good point.
That's good. Who is they?
Men?
Yeah, well, yeah. Gentlemen.
Hold on, let me gather my thoughts. Okay, so my thought process reading through this question is yes, But I also feel like it's hard. That's a hard line because let's say hypothetically you have this 13-year-old girl who looks up to Megan Thee Stallion. As everyone knows how Megan's last few albums and her music has been lately, there are a lot of sexual things that are portrayed. So it's like, it's kind of like darned if you do, darned if you don't, because this little girl looks up to this artist, but this artist is portraying it. So what are you telling this little girl? No, she can't listen to that? So I think that goes on to like how we view our celebrities as well. And even if hypothetically you have that kind of conversation with your child, are they gonna really listen? So that's just my partake in it.
Wow. Okay. Jay?
Well, I think that honestly they've answered it, but I do believe that yes, it impacts Black relationships and expectations. And I know that young people that you hear now is kind of with my brother, he's 13, and like the stuff that I hear, but just based on the stuff that he listens to, I'm like, wait a second, what? Like you can't take a woman out on a date no more because you don't even know how to treat a woman. So like that's some of the things that like I listen to sort of with like younger people, and that I see that they grow up into thinking that a lot of the stuff is just sex, and it's not. Like we were actually talking about the fact that we've lost intimacy as a generation, and like we don't know how to be intimate with one another. But a lot of the times, yes, it can be portrayed through media that, you know, everything is sexualized. Everything is just right there is sex. And it's like, it's all over everywhere. And I think that it creates this unrealistic, you know, expectation or, you know, boundary that should be there. Like there should be a boundary at the fact that like, you know, this ain't all about sex. This is, you know, this is a relationship. This is something that, you know, involves emotion and, you know, not just the physical act.
That's good, sir. It is absolutely, because you guys came up in a time when we grew up, there was no videos at all. MTV was born during our generation. And if you didn't have cable, you didn't see it. Cable was a luxury that most of us didn't have. We had 3 channels. We saw Gunsmoke, Happy Days, and Laverne and Shirley. Y'all don't even know who those people are, do you? But when rap videos first came out, I remember Yo MTV Raps, Fab Five Freddy. It absolutely impacted us tremendously. We changed. We didn't know what people in California was doing or what people in New York was doing, but when we saw that, we were like, oh my God, I gotta act different. And so, but you guys were born into all of this technology and all of these music videos, and you were almost raised on it. It was like normal. And I'm trying to figure out, how do you guard understanding that an intimate relationship is important still, to emotionally, to have some compatibility, that you don't have these expectations of what you've seen. I guess, how do you guard?
I think
Not being affected, so, because I'm shocked. We were like sponges.
Never mind. No, go on. I think there's a certain awareness. Whatever you watch, you should be aware of how it influences you. You should still, I mean, you can look at something and say, like, this is wrong. Or you can look at something and say, that objectifies a woman, for example. And you can say, like, I know that this is not how you treat a woman. I know that she's more than just her body, hopefully. Like, there's a certain, you know what I mean? Like, you're not just gonna hopefully soak it all up, and then, otherwise this wouldn't be a question. There wouldn't be a discussion about it. There's an obvious issue about it. So, I mean, I just hope that my generation, which they do, sees the fault in that, and they know, like, they can recognize that there's more to a woman than that. There's more to expect than just sex and women and nothing else, you know?
Excellent.
Dang.
I also think we got to expose ourselves to more. We have to open ourselves up to, yeah, we have to open our young people, and not only just our young generation, but we have to expose all of us into more things. So like even when I hear family members or see people, listening to stuff that I'm like, or even my little brother listening to stuff that I'm like, oh, wait a second, like we got to change that. Like go listen to, R&B, something about like loving somebody, like, Brian McKnight, go talk about, go talk about, those little 5 steps into, loving somebody. You can go and do, so you can understand how to actually expose yourself to much more than just, the sexual and physical objects of, like, because they're not sexual and physical objects. They're women. They're humans.
That's right.
Just like
That's right.
men
That's
are
right.
humans as well.
That's
So,
right.
yeah.
That's good, sir. But your brother has you. Your brother has you.
This is true.
You're saying expose yourself. Most people are growing up in 4 blocks. And no father and no big brother. They just got the TV, YouTube, Jay-Z.
So I also think we have to, as adults and then also as like parents, I think there is a proper thing into exposing our kids to much more than just what we see or what they see on television. As a parent, I feel like we should, or as a parent, I'm not a parent, but parents, I feel like we should be able to, or they should be able to expose their, child to much more than just what's on the television.
Does all of you have both parents at home?
No.
No.
No?
No.
So you can still do it. That's good. That is excellent.
Yeah, I feel like we shouldn't push this like, oh, if my dad isn't in the home, then I'm going to be like a whore. That doesn't even make sense. And yeah.
That's good. That's good.
I also feel like for young black men without fathers that we shouldn't push that they can't amount to anything other than, being the, drug dealer, being a thug, or being the, one in and out of jail and things like that. Because, like, mine was gone. So, like, and I'm still, here and doing so much more than what people expected for me to do. So, like, as young black men, I feel like we definitely have to push for that, to be more than what our environment is.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Xavier, you got something?
No.
You don't? Okay.
I've been listening to them.
You already said it. That's good. That's good. So you were born in that genre, that era as well, but you did good, sir.
I'll do what I can.
Proud of you, sir. All right. Question 3. Rules to the game. Uh-oh. Rules to the game. Does current culture influence decision on mate choice? It's kind of part of that last question. Are we just going to go one at a time, or I'm going to say them all? You're going to answer any of them. Are you considered old-fashioned to have a 3-month rule? Is it okay to date a friend's ex? No. Okay. Is it okay today to be a gold digger? The floor is open.
Some people like they know. Yeah,
okay. Go for it. Who got this? Shantae.
Why you do me like that?
Roxanne, Shantae. No, okay, go ahead.
Does current culture influence the decision on mate choice?
What does that even mean, right?
No, I'm gonna answer the second one.
Okay.
Because I like this question. Are you considered old-fashioned to have a 3-month rule? I think that, like, I could challenge whoever asked me this question and say, is it old-fashioned for people who are waiting till marriage? You know what I mean? Like, I don't even think... Hold on now.
Should we change the question?
No, I mean, either way, it doesn't
Okay.
matter. There's 3 months? I mean, it matters, but that's just the point that I'm trying to make. The fact that it's even a question, I don't think it's old. I don't think it should be called old-fashioned. I think that, let me say this. I think that there's a lot of things regarding women that have become, like, okay, like it's fine, like do whatever you want. Sleep around, do you, and own it. And it's not so much of a negative stigmatism around that because there's been, like, a lot of people that are You know what I mean? Like it's owned. You know, you do what you want with your body and whoever you want and whatever. It's fine, you know. But I just don't think it's old fashioned.
Okay, that's good. All right.
To answer the first question, I mean, it depends on who you are, if you're letting culture influence the decision on who you're with. But we know, like, it's this IG baddie, like, culture. Like, you got to be light-skinned and pretty and thick to, like, that's how, I don't know, I can't speak for men, of course, but, like, that's how on social media it feels. Like, they get all the attention, they get, like, all the likes and stuff. Not that I'm looking for likes. I don't care about none of that.
You just recognize it.
So I feel like for other people it might, but if you're letting, like, culture influence who you're with, then you don't really want to be with that person. You should be with somebody because you want to be with them and not because of what, like, everybody else is saying.
Wow, that's good. That's true. You guys can answer any of these questions. Go ahead. This is the rules to the game. We rewriting the book tonight.
To go off the 3-month rule question, I have a 3-date rule. Like, just me personally, I'm the one that's like, oh no, we gotta get to. I have a bad thing, and I'm gonna be honest. If we sleep together on the first date, if we sleep
dates?
the 3-date rule, you gotta get to the 3rd date for us to get that far. But and I do have a bad thing of, like, if we sleep together on the first date, I don't want to see you again. Like, that's what that is. Like, I have a bad thing of, like, me personally, like, but it's not even, like, because I don't date women, so it's not necessarily, like, a women thing, but, like, for me, in my dating experience, I'm like, if we sleep together on the first date, then something has already been ruined. And, like, and it means that, you know, it really wasn't, you know, to me it's not special. But that's how I am.
But you obliged.
You did it.
Yeah, but I've already made the decision in my head that, like, this the last thing. At that point, I'm like, I've already made the decision that this is.
Okay, that's good. I think.
Anyways.
That's interesting.
3-date. Okay. But I understand what you're saying. You're saying that if she doesn't feel enough about herself to at least get 3 dates in, then...
Well, it wouldn't be women. So, like, it's not that this isn't towards women because I don't date women. So, like, for me, when, you know, with it being 2 guys, I think for myself that I'm like, if we get to the point where we know that this ain't really going the way we want it to go, and then we like, oh, okay, you know, and we sleep together, I think that we already know that this is not going, like, this was just a one-time thing. It's not like, you know, we at that point already the decision has been made before the process of, like, you know, sleeping together, but the decision has already been agreed on both that, like, yeah, this kind of it. So, like.
Okay. All right. Xavier, you the only one.
Most definitely, yes. I think this ties back into the last question, though.
Most definitely, yes, what?
Most definitely, yes, culture does influence decisions on mating.
I thought you meant the 3-month rule. Okay, go ahead.
No, I mean, I don't consider it old-fashioned. I consider dating now is different. Dating now is not the same as when I was born. People did used to wait. Who laughed? Don't do that. I'm only saying that because I just remember how my parents used to talk about when they were dating and they were growing up, how that was compared to how dating is in my current lifetime now. I had a conversation with a friend recently, and we were just talking about, I gave a girl flowers, and I was the first guy in her life to give her flowers, and she was like 24. And it's just like, from what I knew back then, like, that was just natural. You just got a girl flowers. It's the first day, you hold the door and all that stuff, you get her flowers. The simple
Gentlemen.
Pretty much. I think I think that people get confused with, like, gestures that we do now. So if I hold the door open for someone's like, oh, you're a nice person. I'm like, no, I'm just a gentleman. Like, that's just how it was. We let society change how we view that. And so that's the thing with...
So current culture doesn't allow gentlemen, this is not cool or not?
I'm not saying that current culture doesn't allow it, but current culture influences how people act. We are so absorbed in media that I can see someone in a happy relationship on Instagram, but for real, back behind doors, he probably beat her. Like, I mean, that's an extreme example, but I'm just saying we absorb so much media that we believe it. You believe pretty much anything you see on the media nowadays. We make that judgment before we really know like what's actually going on.
So, have any of you ever been approached or had a desire to approach someone else, and you checked out their social media and made your decision based on that?
Absolutely.
Yes. It's not even a question.
They got ugly pictures out there, so no.
Well, I think. Sorry.
You go ahead.
We live in a very high-tech society. If you guys have not noticed, I think social identity is huge for like how you present yourself on the media. There's an impact on that. It says a lot about a person. What you post, what your statuses are. I mean, I'm not crazy, but like, I just said I ain't crazy. But I will check because you gotta see what's going on, you know? That tells you a lot about a person, more than you know.
Yeah, if you out here posting guns and money
Right.
and
No, thank you.
no boy.
I think that it's not more about, when you said like they got an ugly picture, no, it's not about them having an ugly picture. It's about what you posting the picture of. Like I can't,
What's the caption?
yeah, like what are you putting out there and what are you, sharing with the world? Because you are sharing a part of who you are with the world on social media.
Mm-hmm.
So you see into somebody who they present to people. And when you look at it and then you see something that's like, wait a second, whoa, like, could I take that home to my mom? Like, wait, like that's something, because that's something that people are. Social media is a part of people.
All I'm gonna say is someone took the time to get on their phone or their computer or whatever device they have to look at that post, think to themselves, is that okay to post this? And still posted it without thinking about any repercussions happening afterwards. You had to thoroughly think that through. The idea came from somewhere.
That's good.
Really
There's
felt
other
that
questions
way.
up there. Would you date a friend's ex? Is it
No.
okay?
No, it is not okay.
No.
Where's your
Hold
moral?
on. If we real friends, no. If we knew each other in high school and called each other friends,
Yeah, bro. What she
that's
say?
free game.
Yeah, there are definitely rules and limitations to that. Like,
There's levels to it.
I feel there are levels to it, most definitely. Because like, if my homeboy that I done known since I was 5, like, no, I'm not finna date your ex. But my friend that I might have met like hooping the other day,
Wow. Okay. So, absolutely not, under no circumstance.
I agree with
Okay.
what you said. It depends. It's circumstantial. But if you just ask me that flat out, it's a no. Is it okay to date a friend's ex? No. 'Cause
When I
think
say
my
friend, I
friends-
mean friend.
Like I call you randomly, like that kind of friend. Like I could just show up at your house kind of friend. Absolutely not. It is not okay to date their ex.
That's weird.
That's not cool. It's like, where's
Yeah,
your
use
morals?
the mic.
Oh, sorry. Hello.
You have something, Jake?
No. I mean, yeah, no. My thing is like when I have a friend, I consider them a friend. Like a lot of other people, I have a small, close-knit group of friends. Everybody else outside of that is like acquaintances. Like we not really friends. We just, hi, hey, how you doing? And keep it pushing. But my friends, no way, no.
So here's a
And
refuse.
if we're really friends, I feel like we kind of move the same, we think the same, we have like the same ideals. And if y'all broke
the
up,
same taste.
no, me and my friends don't got the same taste. But if you guys broke up, like it's a reason for that. So why would I go after that? No.
No, you ain't going after. He came after you.
No.
No, he's no good. First of all, bye.
Okay, so
Sorry,
no
what was it?
friends. Wow. Okay, so there's it's circumstantial, but if it's a real friend, and here's the question: why?
To me, that's like dating, like that. To me, that's like dating my siblings' ex. Like, no,
Yeah.
like I have a close connection to my friends, so that's like breaking all vows that we as friends have put together, and being like because I know everything about my friends' exes. My friends come to me and we hash out relationship advice before they go have an argument, like that, and then like so I don't even want to. Yeah, I don't want no part of them, all of that. Nah, you gotta go, because when it comes down to it, is that ex going to be in your life forever? But that ex may not be in your life forever, but that friend will. And so like keeping that, you gonna break a friendship for somebody who okay, temporary, yes, temporary.
All right. What is us? Did we answer? Is it okay to be a gold digger?
No.
I think Nia said.
Okay, this is my thing. Like, I mean, if you don't, this is gonna sound like really like bad, but like if you don't have anything, I don't want no bum. Like,
You refuse to fall in love with a broke.
no, it's not gonna happen because like I got my own. I can make my own. So really, am I a gold digger? I want somebody that's on my level and that could take care of me. Like, I don't want to be a strong, independent woman all my life. I want to be taken care of.
Wow. So when do you want to stop being a strong, independent woman?
Yeah, when I want to
When
stop.
you want to. Hey. Gold diggers. And that's a bad term.
It is.
That means someone wouldn't give you any attention if you didn't have inti munti. But since you do, you getting all this play.
I think gold diggers are like rappers' girlfriends, like Lil Baby and them. They're ugly, but they have all these women because they have money. So that's a gold digger. But if you just like pursuing a dude and he happens like to have a nice job, nice benefits, that'll make you a gold digger.
No, I don't think so either.
I don't think it's okay to be a gold digger. I agree with what you said, but I don't think that's a gold digger. That's someone that is ambition-minded, just like you are. Like someone that's not a bum.
Mike.
Sorry, they actually have some. Wow. Hey y'all. Sorry. Yeah, like that's just being with someone that has something going for them. And I think every woman should be looking for that. You don't want somebody that's just dragging along, barely holding on, But I don't think it's okay to be with someone solely for their money. Like, even you need to get out and do something if that's what you're doing. There we go.
I live by the when it comes to this, I live by the Kanye West song. She ain't messing with no broke niggas, I ain't saying she a gold digger, but she ain't messing with no broke niggas. Y'all know what I'm trying to say. Look, I can't mess with nobody who, like Nia said, you got to be on that level. If you're not out here doing nothing, I can't be out here with nobody who ain't out here doing nothing. Like, what? That don't make sense. Because when you're in a relationship, y'all meaning to help each other grow. Y'all, helping each other, balance through life and continue to grow as adults and into adulthood and into this, like, thing called life, because it's already a challenge. So if you got somebody who making it more of a challenge, then what's the point of them being there? That's my thing.
Wow.
I also think that, like, men today, like, especially in my generation, hear, like, women say, oh, I want to do with money, or, like, I want to do that can provide. And first of all, y'all don't be having no money, so why does it matter? And, like, they be like, oh, you a gold digger. Why are you offended? You sound broke.
That might be why.
I'm gonna say no, but I feel like there is a difference between a gold digger and me meeting someone who is just more financially stable or well off than I am. But I don't know. When I meet someone, I don't care about what their money is like. I'm talking to you for you. So I think there's a big difference between that.
Okay, I'm gonna give you guys 3 choices, and I want you to put them in order of priority for you. Bank, brains, and beauty. Jay?
Brains first. Oof. Brains
Even
first.
if they real broke?
Oh yes, most definitely.
Okay.
Listen, look, brains first. Brains first.
You getting ready to get real ugly.
Brains first, and I want to say,
See, you got to think that hard.
because I'm like debating on if like which one comes. In my opinion, I'm like,
You're going to have to compromise one of the 3. Whoever's last is toe up in that area.
Wait, so you mean so it's like bottom, like just
Like, slow.
Gone. Because it's on the bottom.
who want to go first? I gotta think about mine because
I can go.
Go ahead, Xavier.
I'm going to say brains. Y'all might look at me stupid, but I'm gonna say beauty, and then I'm gonna say money. And I'm only saying that because I done been broke, I done been homeless. Like if I have someone who got the brains and she's attracted to me physically as well, that's all I need. Money is not necessary.
Okay. That was easy. But she at least she looked good. She decent, yeah.
She decent.
it's the bank account that's still up. It's the bank account that's still up.
Exactly. She ain't gonna never have no money. All right, who's next? 'Cause he's paused. He on pause. Jay, you back?
I'll be back. Okay. My last thing is brains always first, and then I would have to say beauty, because that to me is and not only just physical beauty, but like also the beauty within yourself and how you see yourself on the inside and how you portray that part of yourself that's external. But then money is money. You can't take money to heaven, but your soul does go. Right. So like that's what it is.
And you know what? I expect these answers from the men. I don't know that the term gold digger is usually associated with the female. It ain't always the case.
Yeah.
Because there's men out here that are, getting with women that are cougars and whatever, that's got a lot of money. But, now it gets interesting because we're opening it up to the ladies. What's the priority? Bank, brains, or beauty?
I just can't. I cannot. Like, they're all equally important to me. So, like, either way, it's just not gonna work.
That's not the rules. You have to prioritize. The Lord has spoken. Do you want?
I would say brains first because, like, we gotta have a conversation. If anything, we can be broke and have a conversation. Okay, that's fine. And then I'm gonna say beauty because I gotta be able to look at you.
But you're gonna have to take care of him.
Oh man.
You're gonna have to take care of him. You cool with taking care of him? You just said
I don't know.
he gonna be home on the couch.
He better call his mama. Cause it ain't gonna work.
Brains and beauty. That's all right. That's 3 out of 3.
Brains, beauty, bank.
Brains, beauty, bank? Wow, that is interesting. You guys are good. Oh, that's right. Xavier was different. Xavier, he's got... What? Oh. Brains, beauty, bank, all across the board. Was that right?
And this is like most important ranking. Okay. I'm just trying to clarify.
So
'cause
all
I
of
mean,
y'all taking care of the person because they ain't gonna ever.
No, I mean, I'm talking about the
We
brains.
ain't gonna
and
be
the
in no
beauty.
real like relationship. This is gonna be real casual.
No, this is lifelong relationship.
Oh no, baby. Bank, lifelong.
Lifelong. Yeah, this is who you marrying.
Okay, let me change it.
Wait, so
This is till death do part.
But forever they gonna be broke.
Forever. And it don't
How
make
you be
sense
broke
with
forever?
brains.
That don't even make no
y'all
sense.
gonna change still?
Yeah, I'm not even
What's that?
I was asking if they were gonna change still, because this is, you just said relationship. So in my head, I'm thinking we in a relationship too. Let's say you got a girl, my girl that I'm dating right now lost her job to COVID, so she's been struggling, and we live together. So I still wouldn't change.
There you
I
go.
mean,
Good.
I mean, we just got different opinions. That's fine. I ain't gonna say yours is wrong.
I know. Like lifelong, a relationship and marriage is two totally different things. Like, so if we getting married, bank, because I mean,
That's
I want to
number one?
live. Yes, I want to live
And you're
comfortably.
gonna be wealthy then. You're gonna be wealthy. Okay.
I want to live comfortably. Then second would be brains.
So he's an ugly rich man. You can get plastic surgery with that money though, can't you?
Yeah, you can. So fix it up.
Woo. So anybody else want to change now that it's forever?
We're gonna be all right.
Good.
We're gonna be all right.
All right. That was good. That was good. Okay, dates a friend, gold digger, 3-month rule, and the current culture. Okay, 4, alternatives. Studies show a high number of black people are Democrats. And it is believed that the Democrat Party supports alternative family structures. In your experience, do you believe the black community embraces alternative lifestyles and same-sex unions? Is there an impact on relationships because of these structures? Jay, your mic is up.
What's the alternative lifestyle?
I don't know. We did a panel on LGBT, all these alternative types of unions and lifestyles, you know.
So do you believe the black community embraces alternative lifestyles? No.
Does anybody?
As
Does
in,
anybody?
like, I feel like we don't embrace as much as we should, and that there is a disconnect. I will hear a lot of people all the time will say, well, the gays have, the gay movement has been so big, and like, why won't they help Black Lives Matter? But how do you help somebody who don't fully support you? And like, I think ultimately us as a black community do not do a good enough job at supporting the people who fit into the black community and the LGBTQ plus community as well. We will, we're shunned, dismissed, kicked out. A lot of the times people would be like, oh, don't tell, like, I've even been told, oh, don't tell all our family, like, everybody don't need to know that. But it's like, what's wrong with it? Because we don't fully accept something about somebody that they can't change. And so, like, I think that definitely we don't embrace it, or we don't embrace it enough. And then it does impact relationships, whether it be friendships, family relationships. Like, there are disconnects that are brought upon, these people, because it's a time of, like, even when you don't fully embrace somebody, you're disconnecting from them. And that brings a disconnect into your relationship, as whether it be family, friends, or, even being in a romantic relationship. A romantic relationship can be affected from past traumas of, the black community not accepting our LGBT for who they are. And so, yeah.
I think the disconnect, like Jay was saying, comes from if you're not a straight black man or woman, you're like other, and that's not a community. Like, either way it goes, that's not a community, that's not a relationship. at the end of the day, we're all black, we're all being targeted, we're all being stereotyped. So we shouldn't push people away because of who they love. Yeah.
Okay.
I definitely agree with what she said. I think we're all fighting for equality, whether it be in that sense or both. I do think that just because a high number of black people are Democrats doesn't mean that they support all the LGBTQ community, because I quite frankly don't think they do. You just go with a party, you identify with a party that aligns most with your beliefs. So it doesn't mean everything that is Democratic views is what you're going for. And so I think right there is a disconnect within the black community. I don't think a lot of us embrace that.
Jay, you had anything?
No.
Okay. What do I have?
I think that, like, yes, there is a high number of black people that are Democrats, but there are also a lot of, like, undercover Republicans that are, like, really, like, black people that are hating on, like, black people because they just want to live their lives. They don't want to, I don't know how to say it, like, I don't know, like, those people who are really, like, shunning black liberals because of how they live their lives.
I see. Is the embrace, I say the word embrace, is it your culture, your age range, your generation? Does your generation embrace? Or is this rejection coming from another genre or age group?
Old people. My generation let anything fly, basically. So it's definitely coming from the generations before us.
So you're saying in 40 years, this ain't gonna be an issue?
No, I'm not. That's
That's
not. Definitely
true.
not.
Yeah.
It will. I think it'll definitely be an issue that we still, need to work on. Is definitely because not only is it, we do still have a handful of our generation that think like, and I don't want to say necessarily our parents, as in like, because certain parents don't think like this, but that think like the older generation because that is how they were raised. And again, that goes into like, raising, kids into being inclusive, into being accepting and things like that. We don't do, we do a well enough job with accepting the black community, but not really accepting people for who they are. And a lot of the times we have to remember that like kids still do pick up on these different things of like, oh, I can't mess with them because they, like the same sex or things like that. It's still a disconnect that's there. So it's not going to be a problem that goes away in 4 to 5 years. It's still something that definitely is still there now.
Okay. Even in your age group?
Yes, definitely still in our age group. Yes.
Okay. All right. Any other points you guys want to make here? All right. We have one more question that you guys, and it's a softball. Let's go ahead and ask it. The secret, many great relationships, lifelong friendships, test of time marriages, and startup businesses were successfully forged in some of the most disadvantaged black communities in America. What do you believe is the secret to such strength and longevity of the African American spirit? What's the secret?
Laughter.
Okay, that's good.
Black people make a joke out of anything.
So Chris Rock helped us get through.
I was going to say struggle, because, I can always tell when I'm talking to someone, I first meet somebody, if they ever struggled in their life, and it makes a difference. It really does.
If they haven't or have?
If they have not.
Oh.
If they have not. It's usually like if you talk to them long enough, it becomes obvious. And I think that tells a lot about someone. If you've been through something, and you could get out of it, and you could get out of it with someone else. That I think that's a secret. That's a key.
That's good. Yeah. That's good.
I would say the strength and unity, and in struggle as well. Just because we're all the same people going through the same struggle. Like, why would I not help someone who looks just like me going through the same stuff that I'm going through? Why would I leave you behind? What sense does that make? Because if that was really the case, none of our forefathers would be here. Right. Our ancestors would never have done what they've done. So I think that there's strength and struggle and strength, and a lot of strength and unity as well.
Wow, that's good. Jay?
I say the secret to the African American spirit. A lot of it, I have to say that we owe a lot to our black women. I think black women in general are like the backbones of the black community. And like I say that because my mother is one of the people I look up to the most. My mama raised 3 kids by herself and went to school and did all of that. I could never imagine, but like she had that strength in herself, and our black women have that strength in them that is like they're born with. And not to knock our black men, because our black men are also born with a certain strength, but our black women hold us down through, any and everything that you go through in life. And they are always there to be the comfort and the protector and the, cedar and the making sure the nurturer and all of those things that you really keep you prepared to keep going through the life and the challenges that happen. And I think ultimately that it's something that they have that is like just engraved in them, that is something that is the secret to us being so, so strong and so powerful, and so we just have that fight because of them. So yeah.
That's good. And we have a session on the black women too. I think that's the final session, but I agree with that as well. Wonderful. Did everybody answer that? Is that good? Any final thoughts from anybody? Usually I give the panelists a final thought. We've talked about relationships and sexuality and coming up, we talked about, some of the intricacies of relationships and what your priorities are. So I'm just going to open it up. If you got a final thought before I dismiss, please feel free to share.
I'm going to say the same thing for this. The same thing I'm going to say to you people as well. Be open. Like how these conversations that we're having, we're opening up and talking about our experiences. I think we need to take these same experiences and just be open with everyone else. I think that a lot of people in this world are hurt, and they hold on to that guilt and that pain for so long, and they never talk to anyone about it. And I believe just in relationships in the general, a good relationship can't be formed without trust. And that means that you have to be open to that other person. You basically are opening your soul to that other person. So, open your soul to these other people that are around you.
That's good.
I think kind of like what he is saying, as a black community, I feel like it's time for us to heal and like reconcile and just come together, because another part of that question, like the secret to the strength and longevity of the African American spirit is our unity. So if we stop like separating people and just categorizing people in these boxes, these made up boxes, then we would be unstoppable.
That's good. Excellent. Any final comments from you?
I'll comment on what you just said, because I think it was beautiful that you mentioned our unity, and I think that's key. I think coming together like this is awesome. It's amazing. It's kind of sad that I know that the people that need to hear these conversations aren't really here, but I think it's amazing that they're being had, and so I'm glad to be here, so thank you.
My final thoughts. I think as a generation and as a community, and not just a generation, but generations, because there are multiple generations that are not only on this earth but in America today. We got a fight ahead of us. It's not an easy one. We still have been fighting. We've been fighting for years, and we will continue to fight. It's not over, but just having these conversations, there's light at the, end of the tunnel, and just having this baseline of understanding, the problems or the difficulties of being in the Black community and the things that we are trying to fix and work towards is important in itself and important enough. So yeah, I like the fact that we have these conversations, and I'm grateful for them. So yeah, thank you.
Thank you, sir. Wow, that's excellent. So come on, give them a hand one more time, please. I wanna just say this. We, as an African American community, with relationships, my thoughts on that strength and longevity is somebody had a praying grandmother.
Amen.
So the reason that we are where we are, all the way from slavery to today, is because somebody believed God. You have to, that's the anchor. The mothers and the grandmothers and some of the fathers that are being mistreated all the way up have leaned on God. And whether we recognize that or not as young people, as we recognize that or not in this culture, that's why you have the opportunities that you have. The Lord had mercy on your family, on your mama, your grandma. Somebody down the line in your lineage had a relationship with God. And we can't lose that. We cannot lose that, because the future generations are going to reap what you're sowing. And if that's missing, then they're not going to have the opportunities that you have. So this house is open every Sunday at 10:30 in the morning. You all are welcome, okay? So come on, one more time, give them a hand before I start to. Look, guys, we're going to be back here on Monday, February 15th, next week. We're having the MLK event. Southeast Missouri State University is doing that. You guys should definitely participate if you haven't logged in. I don't know if, Tatiana, come here. Give a promo. And okay, yeah, take the mic.
All right, hi guys. I wasn't expecting
This is her
this,
sister,
so
actually.
Bear with me.
Yeah. Here, sit down, because the camera ain't on.
Okay. The event will be on February 10th. Unfortunately, it has to be virtual, but we're going to try and give you the same experience. The only thing that will be missing is the food. So guys, please come. It's a completely free event. If you have any questions, if you can't find it, it's on the CMO website, and then also you can email mlkcommittee@cmo.edu. So our keynote speaker is Nikki Giovanni. I don't know if you heard of her, but she is amazing. Very unapologetic, lovely. So yes, please register and stay tuned with us. Thank you.
Excellent. Let me pray. Father, thank you for all our students. Thank you for everyone that, can you see me? Thank you for all our students. Stand up. Okay. Thank you for all our students. Thank you for everyone that came. We ask that you bless them, Father. Give them an encounter with you. Let them know that you love them, that you're with them, that you accept them, and Father, that you have plans for them. Make sure they get home safely. And give them a special blessing, Father. Help them to know that you are real if they don't know. Draw them closer to you if they're not. Prove to them that your love is real and that you died for them, Father. It's in Jesus' name we pray, and thank you guys for coming. Amen. Amen. Thank all you guys. Excellent, 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 excellent. Isn't that good?
You gave the one, Lord, he made me. It was his blood, yes, it makes me. It was your touch, Lord, it makes me. It was your peace, Lord, it makes me. You living in me, Lord, it makes me. Can't understand how you make me, Lord, but I'm glad, yes, you made me. Lord, I just can't thank you. I just can't thank you enough. And you know all of this you've given to me. I thank you, Lord, for making me. Lord, I know. work.